Hello, this is Jessica. Hello, this is Jessica with On a Stack of Books, and this is my anniversary book tag. So I will just go ahead and get into the prompts. I did find several booktubers, and the prompts were basically the same, but there may have been a couple variations. But you know, the first prompt is, what anniversary are you celebrating? And it is my 1-year anniversary. It was actually December 22nd, and that I posted the first video. It is now December 26th. So close enough. And the second prompt is, what genre do I mostly read or talk about? And I went through my Goodreads for the year, and I did know...
Happy anniversary!
Oh, thank you. I did know the the genre just based on knowing what I read, but what I found, okay, where did I put? So going on Goodreads, just to confirm what I already knew, the most read genre is thriller, murder mystery, in that category. I do have a lot of variety. I went through, so I read 62 books this year, and I went through personally, because Goodreads does not categorize it for you by genre. And so thriller was by far 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 thrillers. I had 6 Christmassy books. And then, so top was thriller, and then fiction came in second. And then YA, and I can thank my daughters for that. And then I think just because, well, I don't know, I'm surprised that I have Christmas themed was number 4 in that category. Then classics, which I don't typically read a ton of classics, but I did last year. So thriller, YA, nutrition books, classics, fantasy, horror, I'm sorry, humor, fiction, travel, romance, and nonfiction. So there's a wide variety there, but thriller by far. That was a long-winded answer to that. How have you changed from the first video to now? And the biggest change is from the beginning. The first video, I did not show my face. And I didn't show my face for a while. My goal was to combine these hobbies of crafting, walking outside, reading, and just sort of all bookish things. And I was very hesitant to put my face out there. And as I was looking back, or as I was looking at my videos, and as I was kind of, going through the process, I realized that you can't connect with people if you never see them, if you don't feel like you get to know them, if you don't feel like, and so I slowly put myself out there, but that's the biggest difference, is showing my face. And that first video, it was a newbie book tag, and I did the craft and I combined it. Well, the craft took forever, so I had to speed it up to fit it in, because I was like, okay, this is way too long. It wasn't the best video. And so that was the first one. So, yeah. And then prompt number 4, what are 3 of your favorite videos that you made in the past year, and why? So my little free library scavenger hunt The first one, I had so much fun making it. I was so excited to put it out. And so that one. And then I was excited to make 50 subscribers. So I took 50 books out and put them in little free libraries. And so that was really fun. I do really like my Read With Me, Walk With Me videos. And there's certain ones that I like more than others because either I ended up liking the book or I liked where I walked, and do we need more light? Okay. So prompt number 5, what types of videos do you most like to do on your channel? I really love to do the crafts. I love to go out in my shed and do a book page paper craft. Sometimes just logistically, time-wise, they can take a long time, or my neighbors are out and they're being loud, they're doing yard work or something like that, or it's hot or it's cold or whatever. And I do have an air conditioner in my shed, but that's really loud. And so I really like those. I love going outside walking, so I love doing those books where I, sort of vlog style, read the first chapter, and then finish it, come back and talk about it. So sort of like a book review within that video. I do love those because I really love to be outside. And so I like combining those two things. So those are my favorite to make. And let's see, prompt number 6, what types of videos do you like to watch on other people's channels? And I do really like to watch book reviews that don't have spoilers because it'll give you that, just enough to make you want to read it. I like book tags, but I do like when there was, and I can't think of his name. He did a Halloween book review of books, and he went out into cemetery and he walked around, and then he came back to his house and he did. So I like that sort of like going out, coming back in, combining, going out. So I like watching videos like that, and they're fun and interactive, or they're not interactive, but they just, it's like I want to go out and walk around in a cemetery. So I like watching those. And let's see. Prompt number 7, what's your most popular video? And that is my second little free library scavenger hunt. So my first one did very well, and then my second little free library scavenger hunt surpassed that one. And so I think we all really enjoy watching those because it's like you kind of get to go shopping with someone, and you're watching and you're looking and you're like, ooh, what's in there? And they don't always pick the ones that you want, but you get to see, and it's just kind of fun to see what's in there. So I enjoy watching those videos. Way before I was on Booktube, I would watch other booktubers go to little free libraries. So I guess I should say that too. I really enjoy watching those because it's fun to see the community, the area, where these little free libraries are and how they made them. Sometimes people make them, they upcycle something, or they just build it themselves, or use different items that can be turned into a library. And it's just fun to see as they tool around and find the libraries and go in and see what books they find. I really enjoy those videos. Number 8, what's the best book you've read this year? And I feel like I keep saying Educated. I feel like I keep talking about that book. I really liked it. It was a really great book. So I think I'll just go with Educated by Tara Westover. It was a very good book. I really liked it. And I got it in a little free library. Okay. Number 9, what are some of the challenges you face with your channel? So just, I think what everybody faces, all the same challenges. Time, just, having the time to read, having the time, that's not a problem, but within everything, having the time to shoot the video, edit the video, upload it, and then be consistent with posting. I always post every Friday. Just for December, I did the Advent Calendar Bibliophile, so that was a daily, but those were shorts. So being able to do that while, you know, everybody has a full-time job, they have family, they have obligations, responsibilities, you know, so it's a hobby, it's a choice that you're doing this, and it's fun, and there's going to just, you know, so it's just that's all. Nothing that everybody else is dealing with. Okay, and then prompt number 10. What are you most proud of on your channel in the last year? And I think just doing it, even though it's scary and nerve-wracking, and even now it's still nerve-wracking, sort of, you know, making the videos, putting yourself out there. So it's just doing it, I guess, and then sticking with it. And it's been a year. So that's cool. I'm proud that, you know, I've done it for a year. And so, yeah. Number 11, where do you see your channel in a year's time? So I feel like this year, you know, you're figuring things out, you're doing it, but you're just sort of, you don't really know what you're doing. And so I think it will grow and evolve, and I'll get better. I'm excited to see how it naturally evolves, how I sort of figure things out, because I would love to have each month one craft video, one read with me, walk with me, one, you know, book review or wrap up for the month in one tag. Like, I would love for it to be just super organized, and I'm always consistently, you know, doing it in a certain order and all that kind of stuff. But things come up, and it's not a bad thing. Things come up in a way that there's reading events, and there's things that you want to participate in, or you get an idea and I want to do something different, and I just want to build that community. I would like to see more interaction. I would like to see more conversation about the books. I do realize that I read more, not new releases, not things that are coming out. So, you know, people are, they're like, yeah, I read that 5 years ago, 10 years ago, or they've never heard of it, or they don't know. So I get that. But that's where I would like to see it go. And then we'll see where it actually, you know, because things have a way of taking on a life of their own if you allow it to naturally evolve, and if you allow it to, you know. So that is what I hope for this coming year. What equipment do you use to film your videos? So last Christmas, my husband got me a GoPro camera set up, and that is what I use. So because initially I was not planning on showing myself, so I can strap it to my chest, you can put it on your head, you can clip it, because I figured I will be out walking, and so it was the perfect thing. It does good quality video, and then I will edit on my laptop, although about a month ago it died, and so I edit on my tablet, which took a minute or two to kind of figure out how that was different from a laptop. And I may replace the laptop. I'm not sure. If I can get by with the tablet, I might do that. And then and then sometimes I use my phone, because like when I was doing the shorts for the Advent calendar, I had to use my phone in order for it to upload as a short, because if it was over 3, or even if it was within that window past 30 seconds or something on my GoPro to my tablet, I couldn't get it to upload as a short. It would be just a regular video. So, you know, those 3-ish things are what I use. I also have a ring light just because I was struggling with lighting. And I had it, I just wasn't using it. But you know, and I rearranged my office really, and so that ended up rearranging my corner. And so sometimes just the lighting, I've got the window here with natural light, and so sometimes it just wasn't. So, you know, that's the equipment. And then number 13, what is one piece of advice you can give to another booktuber? And I will take that as like a brand new booktuber. And I'm going to take this from somebody else that I saw, and he was a guy that was not booktube, he was YouTube. And so he had a larger audience. But his advice was that obviously you plan and you prepare and you kind of figure out what you're going to do. But he advised that you would have 5 videos that you feel good about, that you're sort of going to put out for the first time. And he recommended putting all 5 out together so that people can sort of binge watch you and get a good idea. So maybe make 5 videos that give a little bit of a broad or a little bit of a variety of what you're planning to do. My motion line. And so that way they get a good idea, and it's just not just this one standalone video and you're like, come back in a week. So you have those 5 videos, and then have maybe 2 or 3 so that if you're going to do weekly, you're ahead and you can kind of, you know. So I thought that was very good advice. But yes, plan and try to figure things out. But, you know, ultimately you just have to do it. So I thought that was good advice. And then prompt number 14, what's the best part of having a booktube channel? It's really fun. It's a really fun hobby. It's a fun platform to sort of, especially the way that I'm trying to do it, where I'm combining things, crafts and hobbies and multiple things. So it sort of becomes this one place that all of them can be together. And then in it of itself, it becomes a time capsule for you, and so for yourself. And so that's kind of cool because you can go back, and even though it can be cringy or not fun to look at, you know, but you can see where you've come from and how far you've grown and what you like, what you want to change, you know. And so it's there. And then of course the people that you meet, and so I have already met several wonderful people that are fellow booktubers, and so far for me that has been where I've made those connections and friendships, and just kind of you know, done booktube alongside. I have yet to really meet subscribers that interact, that talk to me consistently about books, and so, or the crafts, or, you know, like I was doing blackout poetry. I really enjoy that too. And so again, just I'm not just doing book reviews or book tags. So there's a little bit of where some people, I can see where I post a craft video and I might, you know, drop down a subscriber, but then you'll gain other ones. And so that, you know, maybe they're like, well, I didn't come here for that. I'm not interested in that. So, you know, that's, it's part of it, I guess. So yes, a year, and I am still enjoying it. There is still times where I will be like, oh, I gotta get this video out. I gotta work on this. I gotta do this. And, you know, and it's time consuming. You get better at it. You get faster. I include my husband. I include my children if they want. My youngest daughter is a little bit more interested in helping, because it's time consuming. And so I don't want to be like, I have to go do this off by myself and I can't include anybody. You know, it's better for me to include them. So I do want it to grow, and I want to participate in more of the reading events. I would like to host a reading event sometime, you know, when I figure out what I'm doing. So there's a lot of fun. There's a lot of potential on Booktube, and I like the tiny little niche that it is. I like that even though you're out there, you're putting yourself out there, you're still like, you really got to look for those booktubers. You really got to look for people. So, and only someone that's interested in reading is going to be looking. And so there's comfort there. But yeah, so thank you if you have subscribed. Thank you if you are watching. And I hope that you enjoy, and I do, you know, like I said, I do want to have that interaction, those conversations. So even if it's just an emoji or a stack of books, that would actually be wonderful, because that's one of the emojis on there, is the little stack of books. And so I would love it to see if just, you don't even have to say anything, just put a stack of books. And then I know you've watched this. So yeah, so it's really been fun and I've enjoyed it, and I'm glad that you're here. And until next time, I will be reading.